So I'm just going to talk a little bit about here about how the scheduling of Business Essential upgrades happens. So typically, I think you're going to receive an email from Microsoft. It's going to just advise you guys that there is a new version coming out, and it's probably going to give you a window of about a month of when these upgrades are going to be applied to your system. So what you can do is you can kind of just leave that and wait for Business Central to be upgraded whenever you're scheduled in by Microsoft. Or what you can do is go into your admin center and set the schedule by yourself. So this will happen here. You can see I got a screenshot where I'm on an admin center and I'm on a production environment. You'll see there's a drop down here, and we have two different selections we can make. So we can see we have the set update window and the schedule update. Update window is going to be setting a time frame of when we want our update to happen. So say from between 6 p.m. to midnight, and scheduling the update is going to be what date we want. Okay, so we're going to get an email from Microsoft. It's going to say you're scheduled to be upgraded between such and such a date, and we can come here into the admin center and kind of narrow that down for ourselves by selecting a date and time. Okay, so I guess just in regards to how this compares to GP, quite a bit different. GP, you'd be phoning us and scheduling an upgrade, and then we would have our DBAs come down and do a pre-upgrade visit, and then there would be a whole big process of upgrading GP. Well, with Business Central, that's kind of not exactly how it goes because it's in the cloud. It just gets upgraded automatically overnight. So it's kind of good, kind of bad. So you won't be, say, scheduling your upgrades to happen at a certain time. Rather, you'd be choosing a window of when they're going to happen. So there's good and bad with that. I mean, the good is that you get the newest features right away for your organization. It's pretty quick and painless to do these upgrades as well. And the bad might be that a lot of times with upgrades they like to move things around, so you might find your navigate icon is going to be in a different spot than where it was before the upgrade, but generally we can get to wherever we want to go pretty easily within Business Central using the search feature, and I'll talk a little bit later on how we can look at our Role Center exploring to see all the windows available to us, so that really helps us navigate within the system. So that's a great new feature we'll see. So I'm just going to switch over here to Business Central. I just want to show you guys how you can see all the new features for yourself, right? Which should always be good to do. You want to know exactly what's being made available to you. So I'm mostly going to be demoing kind of the more general new features here, but there is quite a slew of them that have been updated recently. So we're just going to go into our help icon here, and we're going to click help and support. We'll find here that we get a whole bunch of links. Hopefully you guys have been here before, because there's a lot of good things that we can do from here. You can submit ideas if you want right over here using this link, and you can get to help specific to what window you're on. So here we can see I'm on the account schedules window, and I can get help right for that. But if we want to see what new features we have, we can follow this link here. So this one's going to be talking about coming soon, but it's going to give us a good link to what new features as well. So these are just new features here they're going to talk about, and we have a link right here, what's new and planned. So I'd advise you guys to come into here so we can see it's quite a long list of things that were released for Business Central. Gives you the date and the release when it was available. So it's great that it has descriptions on them, and there's discussion on it, and yeah, it's just a great reference here to have for you to come in here and see what has been added for you guys. Okay, so I'd advise to come in here, take a look at what's new and planned, and definitely research what's new for you guys. Alright, so next we're going to take a look at some of the new features here. So what's going to happen is I'm pretty much going to talk about the new feature. I'll have a screenshot of where we can apply that new feature, and then I will demo it as well. Okay, so the first new feature I have to show you guys is how we can bookmark things to our homepage. So this is great. It really gets down on on keyboard strokes and mouse clicks. So in regards to the account schedules, previously, if we wanted to get there, either we're going to be navigating to it using the exploring role, or we're going to have to use the search function to get there. So to click search, type in account schedules, and then choose the account schedules from the list. So we can see how that can be quite time consuming. A lot of mouse clicks, kind of annoying. I know that whenever I'm doing any processing in a system, I kind of want to keep my hand on the mouse as much as I can and not have to touch the keyboard. So what we can do is pull up the account schedule page, as I have a screenshot here, and there's a bookmark icon that's now added in the top right hand corner of all of our windows. So right over here we'll see we got a little icon. It looks like a little flag, and clicking that is going to add like a bookmark on our home page, so that we just have to click that link now and we can get right to our account schedule page. Okay, so just let me demo this now in our Business Central environment. So we can see here that I already have the account schedules bookmark added to my home page, right? So now that it's added here, I click on it, it brings up my account schedule for me. So great, one click takes me right to the account schedule. Previously, right, I would have had to use the search function and then, type in account schedules here, and then find it in the list and then get to it that way, right? So kind of a clunky and time consuming process, right? So no more. Now we can just come into account schedules that first time, click this bookmark, and then now it's there available on our home page for one-click access to that page. Okay. So that's a great feature there. You guys can probably think of a million different windows that you guys go into every day that you need this for, really to reduce the amount of keystrokes to get to wherever you're looking to go. Okay, and we can customize this as well. So if we want account schedules to appear first in the list and customers to appear over here, if we want to remove one of these, we can simply go back into it and unclick the bookmark. But yeah, to move these around here, we're just going to use our trusty personalize options here, and we would just bring on our field here, so that we got this little, once you see we have this little red arrow here, that knows that we can kind of move this around where we want it to go. Okay, there we go. Alright, so next here I'm going to talk about this new Explore the Role Center feature that's been added. So this is going to kind of give us like a module by module view of what we can do using any role center that we're logged in as. Okay, so to explore the role center, we've got these new like 3 lines here on our home page that we can click on. We can also get there from the search bar, so I'll show that to you guys. But so right there we can see there's those 3 lines we can click on to explore our role center. Okay, so let me demo this right now. Gonna go back into Business Central here, right? I'm gonna click on our 3 lines, and we'll see here now that it's opened up this window here that lists all of our modules, pretty much, if you're familiar with GP and modules. So this is great if you kind of don't know what you're looking for, but you kind of know where it is, right? So you know, like, oh, I want to get to my general journals, but I don't know what they're called. So say you don't know what they're called, general journals. Well, we can go into our finance here and we can see, oh look, there's our general journals link. We can click on that and it takes us right there. Okay, so this is great. It just shows us what's available to us under our role center. And in case you're not kind of familiar with what your role center is, it's just what gives you access to certain windows and pages in GP. So you can change your role center here over in your My Settings window. So just right here, I'm signed in as business manager. This is the one I recommend most users who use, and it gives you kind of the best access to the system. Okay, we can also get into that exploring the role center window again from our search. if we click this exploring button. Right, so just kind of a good way to navigate through your system, see what's available for you guys. Another great new feature that's been added is the ability to add a company badge. So this is just a visual indicator, just kind of to let you know what company you're on as you're navigating through the system. So this is turned on in the company information page, where you can kind of select what you want the badge to look like and what you want it to say. I really like this. Recently I did a new implementation of Business Central, and as you're switching between test and live, and sometimes you might not realize that you are in the live company, and say you're testing the importing of something. So a quick visual indicator that you're in the live production company would be like a blue live button. Would be great to see, just so you kind of know, and it's another kind of fail-safe for you guys, just to know what kind of company you're on. So I can show you guys how to turn this on here. I'm going to go back into Business Central, and I'm going to open up our company information page. Right, so here's a page I don't go to very often, so I probably wouldn't need to bookmark it, but we can also do that as well. Actually, I can show you guys right there from the list page. We can bookmark things, right? So if you wanted to bookmark multiple things at once, so company information, when I hovered over it here, I kind of get that bookmark icon. So that's kind of cool, right? But I'm going to go back in here to my company information page, and I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and we see now we got this new Fast Tab company badge. So right here we can kind of just add a badge and give it a name. I think this right now it's only 4 letters long. Yeah, so we can't go bigger than 4, but it's just kind of a nice visual indicator there. Let you know what company you're in, so you can make sure that you're not going to make any entries into the wrong company. And there it is, right? So once we add it on our badge, we can see that it shows up in our homepage for us. So now on to my favorite new feature that's been released. This one is the one I think that most of us who've used the system have been kind of waiting for. This is the ability to open up any page we're working on in a new window. So previously in Business Central, you could only have kind of one window open at a time. So if you're on a customer card and you want to see what's on a different customer card, you kind of would have to close down that customer card and then go back into a different one. Right, so very clunky, not very user friendly. It doesn't really let us, utilize dual monitors if we have them in the system. So this new open page and new window feature has been added. I think it's going to make a lot of people's lives a lot easier. And let me demonstrate this for you guys right now. So we'll see here that there's this button. It's like a little window with an arrow pointing out, kind of the standard pop out button. So I'm going to go to, let's say, my customers list here, and let's say I'm entering in a new customer, right? And I give it a name, and after the name is entered, you realize that, oh, how did I fill out that other customer? I want to have the consistency. So previously you have to close this down, or you could open up a new window here and then navigate to that new window to kind of utilize 2 windows in Business Central. But what they've added here is this open a new window button. So what this is going to do is open up that customer card entry form in this new window, which will allow us to go back into our regular window here and pull up a different customer card entry, right? So now I'm just gonna show you guys here. I have 2 separate windows open of Business Central. Okay, so great new feature added to most entry windows in the system. Okay, so Microsoft didn't stop there with the pop out a new window feature. They actually gave us another great feature that I'm really waiting for myself, and that's the ability to save views. Um, so say we come into our customer list all the time, and we always want to, search for customers in a certain city, and with a certain balance over a certain amount. So every single time we go into our customer list, we'd have to apply that filter, and that can be quite time consuming, tedious, and annoying. So what they've added now is the ability to save those filters. So that's this little save icon here. It's going to give us the ability to give that filter a name. So every single time we come into our list, we can click on that view. It's what that save filter is now going to be called a view, and then we can apply those filters right away. Okay, so very very powerful feature, kind of a little bit similar to Smart List and GP if you guys are familiar with that. So these filters can, and these save views, they can be done on like your chart of accounts. They can be done on your customers, vendors, or say like your sales invoices. Okay, so let me demonstrate this right now. I'm going to navigate over here to customers. Right, and we can see we already kind of have a view set here. So I'm just going to clear these views, and I'm going to add on another view here. Right, so let's say we want to see all customers with a balance greater than 0. Right, I'm going to type that view in. I'm going to hit tab, and we can see it applies that view in real time. Okay, just want to mention quickly to you guys here, I've noticed that that they've also added this notes fact box detail pane here. So previously I remember we had details, but I don't recall having this attachments tab here. So it looks like this is a place they've added where we can add links and notes specific to this customer. So don't know if that was released in the newer version or probably a previous version and I just missed it, but kind of something I've been keeping my eye out for, so I'm glad that they added this functionality. Sorry, little sidebar there, but let's get back to the filtering here. So we can see here I've added a filter on balance. So yeah, we can kind of see here we only have quite a few columns selected for us, but that doesn't stop our filtering. We can actually filter on fields or columns that aren't even visible for us. So say we wanted to see, a customer balance in the city of Winnipeg that are greater than 0. Right, so we can filter by multiple different criteria at once. Right, I'm just not going to add this in here because I just don't know which cities these test customers are in. To save the view, you click on this little save button, and we can, give it a name. Balance greater than 0, right? So just a simple name there. So now it's saved for us, so we can easily switch between our views now just by clicking on one. All is going to give us a list of all the customers, and a balance greater than 0 is going to give us a list based on those filter criteria that we set. Okay, so very powerful. This can be used throughout the system. These save views, whether you're on customers, vendors, sales invoices, you're on your chart of accounts. So great way to customize your viewing of the system. Well, thanks guys for hanging out with me for the last few minutes there. Looks like we went a little bit longer than 15 minutes, but pretty excited about some of these new features, and hopefully you guys can utilize them as I have already in my system. So just a quick recap of what we went over here. We looked at how the scheduling of upgrades happens, and I've demoed some of the new features I thought you guys would make the most use out of.